On today's show, we are on Kidney Alert. We are looking at lifestyles that can affect the health of your kidneys. A lady is experiencing double jeopardy. Deformity and superstition has kept her from love. A little girl with 4 legs. Yes, 4 legs on This Week in Medicine. This show is brought to you by Vodafone. Further together.
Now you can be part of the extraordinary world of endless possibilities on Vodafone. With the best value and amazing data offers and services available in Ghana, your dreams are achievable. Get more for less with Vodafone data. Vodafone, further together.
Keeping our hearts and our bodies fit is Ifya Berfi, and she'll be with us today, so don't go anywhere. But before that, Mythbusters. Well, for me, the animation, I think I have a problem with. Look at the way the woman just, and her teeth was like this.
Oh, really? I didn't know about the thing. I was still like, fun.
Oh,
that's distress. No. Most of the time, the children are in distress.
Enema in general?
Mr. Day. Dama enema.
Yes,
And the thing that they are, you see, helping the child doesn't have to inflict pain, which invariably happens. You see, I'm just passionate because once upon a time there was a child that, even before we come to admit, there was a child that obeya mutun honum wa pro.
Oh,
that's the O.
Oh no, any man could say.
Oh, what's the mutun honum pro?
Where's I him?
This child was 10, 12.
Hold
on. We listen to the story, try and find out. And this story never came up. Initially, said somebody trying to. Then the girl, the mother, later on, what I think is a more honest confession, this followed after an enema. We're not sure what the content of the enema was. The other war hornomen. No, like an animation. What the war now? I don't want to that.
I don't know. I wasn't.
You've not seen them do it before.
No. They actually just part the anal region a little.
They do.
Sometimes the child has pressed the buttons, and they do just do like those.
Oh, come on, man. No way. But look, tell us about your story. Was it really an enema?
That was a final conclusion where the enema went through the anal, where we think it went through the anus.
Okay.
Perforated it.
Pulled it out.
Well, you see, if you look at the extent of necrosis and all corona, it appears on hindsight that the enema needle went through the mucosa.
It's a plastic.
That might do white, ceramic.
It's not ceramic. It's plastic.
Hard plastic. People, me as
we are not here to promote enema or not.
You are not.
I know that medically, I can't say I know. I've heard. Before you come look at his face. Oh God, it's so priceless. I've heard, sir, medically.
Let me take a deep breath.
Medically, like what the man said in a previous episode, they were giving the child You remember the community worker, young boy, Charles, that the doctor gave them when they went to the doctor at the point, they said it was full of fecal matter. It was at the hospital they gave the child enema.
They didn't give an enema. I think they did a PR.
Well, me, I understood this as enema.
Now, if you want to go into enemas, there's a way to do it right.
Okay, show us.
Because we do it medically.
You see, Abba was describing that, and then they parted. She's saying what is done medically.
But who doesn't part?
Sometimes when you left
I didn't see the woman part.
The woman did not part. Anyways, so if you want your child to walk,
okay,
the child has to develop enough body mass.
Yes.
The skeleton must be well developed.
Yes, that's true.
Then the brain must also be well developed. So there must be a certain critical mass. Also, there's a environment genetic interplay. How you handle the child. Do you give the child the opportunity to try and crawl? Are you always carrying your child because it's your only child, your first child? You know, all these things interplay as to how soon the child would walk.
Yes.
Enemas do not make the child walk. If you have to give an enema, I don't know when you give, but if you have to give an enema, make sure that you're doing it well, and you don't come and give any child any complications.
But since you're complementing Abba's way, can Abba tell us the right way to do it and when it's necessary to do it?
No, as for that, I know, because I don't see any circumstance that a parent should be given an enema. Okay. And usually the constituents of what we are given the crown. So as for me, I'm not going to encourage people at home.
So you're not even describing it.
No.
But talking about herbal concoctions to help children walk. I did come across a lady who was so proud. I had my son with me, right? And we crossed the road. I went to buy something. And so she just thought that, my son can't walk. I don't know why she thought that. So she just said, pointing to her grandchild. She walked at 7 months. And I looked at her, I was like, say, what? All right. And then she's like, when the mother is not looking, that's when I freaked out. When the mother is not looking, then she would go and give the child that enema concoction that they say,
not until 7 months in a year then.
She's very proud of it.
I mean, you see, the skeleton must develop.
We understand
now
that.
The skeleton undeveloping. My friend, sometimes you predispose this child to skeletal
deformity,
abnormalities. The leg can bow. It's not, you can have disease processes that may make it bow, but walking early has a way of predisposing the child to bow legs.
Understood.
So feed your child well. Make sure your child is growing well. Stimulate the child. Give the child that environment. Give the child that environment.
When the doctor, you take, yes, not to cut you, but when we take children for reviews, you don't go who doctor then your man. Doctor nipo beka cho so ubusa questions and ako way na.
Exactly.
Beka cho say when book na say cry ban. Picture some at what stages are the things say akwala should be achieving certain milestones.
Exactly.
They think.
So it's a thing, and it's a range.
Thank you. It's a range.
So they will tell you if they think that akwalana enya broso before a certain milestone, and they'll even refer you to a pediatrician in their unit. So I really like the way our I call it postnatal, but weighing, as we call it, system works for the children. It's really effective these days. It's me and prepare because akwala be different. Your first child may have worked at maybe 9 months, 10 months. The next one will decide to work at 1.5. What's the problem?
And let's be vigilant. This is how Obi Baweji and Obi Sana on your way.
Yes, well, talking about that, we are going straight to OT region to meet a beautiful girl, Rebecca, a young lady, who discovered that life can be very toxic when deformity meets superstition.
Rebecca Manu.
Me dende Emiri Abuajiwa, me fi OT region. Me bane beki.
My dear, for 24 years.
Me wonu wo fie. Me wo no no my emre. Nukure ni mo de oji me awo no. Ma ne so tete me no. Na bekinsa achemu mi no.
Mi ko promotive. Me started school P2. P2 no. Na ehame. Because na my uncle for esre me. Ti me do P6 na me ni obi nya ntokwa. Nti me ni nipa ne nya ntokwa na nipa no odididi matem. Ti me ba fie na me besuye. Me suye na ma me bisa me se aden na me se o ma. Eye me nsan nti na me su no.
No kura me ko school mu ho ekoka kire omo teacher. E ma na kire omo nkola no say. Na nya me na ma ye no sade atra no so. Nti omo mfa yare no mfa ndidi beki atem nti me pa omo chew.
Ti ho man pa ba. Ti form 3 na e ko register BC. E ho ma nya scan register. E na me free school no. Ti me wona malamfo bi fra me se adwuma bi wo Accra. Ti me mra. Me call first time ni there na market no e fine omo to ade nti e ho na customer no ba ko ka che ni say me nsana o ma me de to ade no ho no nipa bebre chiri obi ho no behu a nsana o meto biom nti ai san me boss no na adwen ba so e ma ne ka say me nko nti no obepa obi na ba be ya adwuma no
Enti wonyi kakra no bo e bi fa no teacher ni bi fa no odo no ko sua hairdresser no
nti adwuma no mu na odi mi ko che na busiafo obia nti no mo ni age me ho se o odi oba abafie
nti abusiafo no hu ye say bekinsa
e yo mu problem no mo so mu chire o mo abusiamu se obi o yale nsansia bia no e won se omro mo abusia no nti anaju bi na ga an be ka kire mi se na busiafo se o mo mpeni se me ni no betina si aha me pa ta ma mi hu ye se e ha me no na misimi ame ya adwuma na ma hwe se mbetimi dia ye operation na mi kota 7 na mi ko share Dr. Nsafo na mi dey me how no tu na nim timi ka kire no no si o obetimi aboa me nti enum no sika na metimi metua na omde aboa me no na me nibi timantimi anya ntua no si mama worry nti no be boa me Dr. Nsafo friend say Vodafone Healthline person boa me
me ho na beki friend say Vodafone for say o ma be boa me anu kura mani agi papa mani agi
ho anu ma sha asi esu because me ni obuafo bia o mani ni machi nti ho na aya me de na me didi kwa no friend
ti me da nyankopon ase
man na nso ndae sambia mehia mo da mo abaye mi adoye se ti mi da o ase
Omianka na member bi trim yesu honestly or sure say asasem na nebusia for kan anono a na person kan asebi
I see him saying, remember, sometimes one team to me is soon.
Remember, B. It's
I've
a very critical AU. B.
I've qualified it, but I think it's again traditions. Yeah, they so sometimes play a role. And indeed, even though we might be blaming the men for using that as an excuse, we do know there's a lot of stigma with any form of congenital deformity in our parts of the world. And unfortunately, this young, very beautiful lady has one that is correctable, really, but because of all kinds of issues, she's not got the help that she needs. You could tell that she was very sad, very affected, and the effect on her has not just been social; it's been psychological as well. She was teary and all of that. I thank God that there's the opportunity to give her the help that she needs.
So the help she needs, KK, is it very simple, really, like Abba is saying? Just one simple in-out surgery, that's it?
There's nothing about healthcare that is simple. You know, for starters, I mean, even medications is not that simple. You can take it. So I think it's doable. It's doable with a potential to give a good outcome, and cosmesis will be fairly appreciable. But for me, I think I want to reiterate, hammer there. you're compassionate. Oh, several times you hear the people who have deformities one way or the other are being stigmatized. And you see, if you want to stigmatize someone, stigmatize the person over things they have control over. In my opinion, you know, but things you don't have control over, like what wouldn't damn not say. And because of that, the person has lost a loved one, has lost a form of employment,
income,
a
yes.
livelihood, and you know it's being shunned. I mean, I think it's rather unfair, but it's a common occurrence in our society, which we must collectively try and have a renewal of our mind, such that you be jay the madina. Say, will be able to say who the woods will be no fair, the going concern will be that jay when you're dumb, when you're no fault. I hope that this medium would educate people enough that they will appreciate that these things are through no fault of anyone's.
Okay, so that's the question I was actually going to ask you. That can someone blame the mother that maybe she did something wrong during pregnancy or something? That's why the child was born with an extra digit or thereabout. But as you said, it's no one's fault, really.
Because then again, we'll say there are a few things that when you do, it predisposes. But not all women that drink alcohol have this.
Yeah.
Not all women that smoke have this. So it becomes a little, you know, difficult to say that it's someone's fault.
Yeah, well, we are grateful to Vodafone once again for coming to her aid. The money that she was trying to save up, they're not even going to give her a job. When was she going to save up to do this surgery, really? And I'm just happy for her because Rebecca deserves it. She deserves all the happiness in the world. We'll be right back.
So that mom can be able to open the door.
This is it.
Listen to the door.
Here's my little brother doing something special. He's setting the camera up with another bright idea.
Let's just open the door.
Yay!
Mom, I got this.
Afedie, usu betumi nya kwanya sronko a ye nije ye power Vodafone so. Ye di data bundles a eni seso Ghana ha brel. Ye ma da ye so, ye ni da so nyina bem. Enti beka ye ho, nya data mo ni je power bebre.
Vodafone, further together.
Kidney adia emu bebre eni made potia eye. Eso ni emoja so. Emma yenya apomuden sa odwonso na odwonso pie no body ni pa che say dwonso no nya ade a esese tena ni padua ni mu enyoma bi wo no ma ye ya abrabo bi a ye bo aduane bi a ye di yare bi a ewo ye so etumi ha ye kidney no na bi ni den abrabo na bi ni den aduane na bi ni den enne ye pese ati ase nti ye doctor bi wo ye nchen wa ha e friend no Dr. John Awa doctor we die brofun kwanti e bewe ya no a owie a na makra mase kakra otwim si ate. Doctor, welcome to Vodafone Healthline.
Thank you very much for inviting me to your program.
It's a pleasure, Doc. Talking about kidneys.
Yes.
Let's go back to basics.
No problem.
You know, what are kidneys? Where can we find them? Because I'm curious about that.
Yes.
And then what does it really do for us in the body?
Kidneys are organs in the body. They can be found, they're about fist size.
Like that?
Like that.
Okay.
And there are two of them, two fists.
Cool.
And they are located, one is located behind, just under the rib, the last rib.
Okay.
So go down to the side of the body, and then feel your last rib on the side. And then right there is where the kidney is found.
Okay, so it's a little bit towards the back.
Just the back, yes, and it's on each side of the body.
Okay.
The function of the kidney is vital to our existence. First of all, the kidney, they detoxify the body. That means they remove toxins from the body. They remove waste products from the body. They remove excess water from the body. More like they regulate how much water is in the body. If you have too much water in the body, they actually take a lot out. If you don't have enough water in the body, they actually keep the water in the body.
They help
regulates the body, water in the body.
All right.
In addition to that function, they produce certain hormones that regulate your blood pressure. Yes. And also, they produce certain hormones that make blood.
No.
Yes. So it regulates the amount of blood that your body has by their hormonal function, and also regulates your blood pressure. In addition to that, they regulate the calcium balance in your body through its function of another hormone called vitamin D. So they help.
Vitamin D is a hormone.
Yes.
The kidney regulates that
yes.
with calcium.
Yes.
Meaning your bones need your kidneys.
Excellent. That's correct.
Your blood needs your kidneys.
Yes.
Your heart needs your kidneys.
Yes.
Oh my.
So it's a very important organ for the body's function.
Okay. So what can cause our kidneys to be in trouble?
The kidneys can be in trouble by two main disease processes.
Okay.
So those two can cause most of the kidney problems that we have. The first is diabetes. And diabetes means excess of blood sugar in a body that the body cannot handle. And if that goes on for a long time, it can cause the kidneys to fail. Now, you understand that diabetes is a consequence of high blood sugar, and therefore lifestyle affects excesses of blood sugar in the body. For instance, if you try to eat more than you should be eating, that means eating too much.
Eating too much food.
You put on more weight, and therefore the ability of the body to handle the excess sugar becomes a problem. And therefore you develop diabetes from overeating. Okay. So diabetes is one of them. Now, so to regulate the kidney function in one way or the other, you have to be able to manage your diet in such a way that you don't become diabetic. So things like eating, we call it foods that have high fiber content, and low sugars can prevent you from developing diabetes in the first place. So if you develop diabetes, it can go and affect your kidneys, right? Now, the second most important problem that can cause kidney damage is high blood pressure.
Okay.
And we call that hypertension. Okay. And hypertension gives you excess pressure more than the body can handle. Of course, it can cause many other problems in the body, but specifically the kidney, it causes the kidney to fail.
How?
And the pressure, it damages the kidney cells in the kidney to the point where the kidney is unable to perform its functions.
Okay.
So, of course, that hypertension usually is inherited, but there are certain lifestyles that you can, when you take good care of yourself, you are able to prevent or reduce the pressure that your body will have, such as trying to reduce amount of food, salt intake, that will help mitigate some of your elevated blood pressures, I mean, hypertension usually is difficult to treat with diet alone, so you might want to be able to take medications and don't go and take medication that's prescribed by doctors.
Yes.
All right. So when you have high blood pressure, then you have to be able to see your doctor regularly.
It's interesting, the high blood pressure thing, because you would think that high blood pressure is heart related. But you had already told us that our heart also needs our kidneys.
Yes.
But to think that pressure in your veins, we know blood flows through the kidneys, but pressure in your veins actually have that kind of power to destroy your kidneys. Can it actually cause kidney failure?
Yes.
Like totally destroy your kidneys?
Yes. So the pressure usually, unfortunately, blood pressure usually has no symptoms.
Okay.
So if the pressure goes high enough, the kidney is gradually getting affected and it will fail. If it fails, then you have to go on hemodialysis, which means that there's a machine that you're gonna go through. The blood will go through the machine, and that will detoxify the body just as the kidney will do it, and also remove excess water from the body just as the kidney will do it. But it's very, very expensive. But don't wait till you get there.
Yeah.
Your lifestyle changes, exercises, and eating right.
So don't eat too much food, exercise. Anything else?
And of course, high fiber food that
yes.
has high fiber diet,
Yes. Okay, 3.
So those are the things, those are 2 main things that can affect
diseases.
the
Okay.
water function.
Can infection of any sort affect your kidneys? Like you have an infection like tuberculosis, malaria, HIV, any form of infection. Can they actually cause liver problems? Kidney problems.
Yes, infections do cause kidney problems. And the medical term is called 2 things, glomerulonephritis or pyelonephritis. So
those are big words.
They're 2 big words. I don't want to even use that word, but it just means that when you have infection, because the kidney and the bladder, they are all connected.
Yes.
So if you have bladder infection that you are not treating it appropriately, it can travel into your kidney and give you severe kidney infection. That means that you start having things like nausea, vomiting, fevers, and you're feeling very, very sick.
Yeah.
Particularly, you're going to have pain at the back in the direction where the kidneys are in the back. So if somebody taps on your back, you jump forward, because the kidney is infected, Yeah, so infection can cause that. Now, in children, there is infection that can come from, like sore throat, for instance, that can go in the kidneys and cause.
Only in children?
Yes, children, yes.
Not adults?
Not adults.
Okay.
But actually, not adults, not like not, but mostly children. Yes.
But what age range? Let's not scare ourselves. What age range are we talking about?
Well, usually toddlers, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, when you have
sore throat in a toddler
can
cause kidney problems for that child.
That's correct.
Wow.
Now, let me go back. Before antibiotics were discovered, it was a serious cause of kidney failure in children.
Wow.
Right. These days, most people don't wait for the child to be sick to get medical assistance. But if you are not taking care of your child very well, and they have this sore throat and infection, it can actually travel and cause not only kidney heart as well,
Oh, wow.
Yes, and it can cause kidney failure, and it will lead to things like severe kidney infection that can cause the kidney to fail.
Yes, right? For the child.
So that's my way of it.
Is there any truth to this, that not drinking enough water, since the kidney is so good at regulating water, like you said, it will keep some in if you don't have enough and you let the excess come out? Why do we need to keep drinking so much water? We see it everywhere on social media when it comes to our kidneys. Is there any truth in that? And what would that prevent for us? Water?
Water is very important to keep the kidney hydrated. It's like your car engine, right? You need water to go around it. You need oil to go around to oil in it. The kidney functions the same way. You need to rehydrate the kidney so that it keeps functioning the way it should function. So, for instance, if you don't drink enough water, your kidneys will shut down, right? And when it shuts down, it may shut down forever or temporarily. So it's very scientific, So you lack water, the body would think that that you don't, there's a problem there. Let's keep the kidneys. The kidney will shut down. They won't produce enough urine because of that, And because they are shutting down, less blood going to the kidney, and then the kidney with less blood, it actually fail you. You know, when it fails, it becomes very difficult to treat. You know, if you're lucky with rehydration, it will come back. If you're not lucky, it may not come back. It may have to go on dialysis for that.
Wow. Water is power.
Water is important. It's good to be drinking fluid, especially in this part of the world where the water is so hot, you are sweating all the time.
You sweat a lot.
You make sure that you keep up with the fluid intake and not like ordinary fluid, but it has to be water.
Okay.
Because if you
does
take
coconut water help?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Actually, it's a nice fluid to be taken. Actually, you know.
All right.
I mean things like soft drinks that have sugar in it. You know, try and avoid those ones as a form of hydration.
Hard drinks.
The hard drinks the hard drinks actually are worse for the kidneys
as well.
Worse for the kidneys because the thing is that if you are taking like alcohol, right? Okay, you tend to dehydrate. Because it tends to take water from the body, you know, so you get dehydration, you know. So I think ordinary water is great, you know, just to, you know, make sure that things are functioning and the body is well hydrated, you know.
Okay. Doc, I think that we've understood. Let me see if I've been a good student and say this in Chi. Hi. Nadia, better your finger. Doctor, I was say, kidney ya nyoma bebree de me boss bi no. Ebi ka ho ana ye nim ti de na enim no ye mfa nka ho hwese mekaya. Or say kidney, wakuma here kidney. Then grab you, ma. Doc, say it again. Your heart needs kidneys, right?
Yes, every part of the body needs kidney.
I want to remember the organs. I'm just trying to summarize right now.
Where is your heart, the brain?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody needs kidneys. Basically, wakuma here kidneys, why drink here kidneys, bibia here kidneys, umoja here kidneys, udompe here kidneys. And I'm besa mekaina. See, I'm a back. Wakuma udompe umoja nti umoja so secret mi ba ne say e free u kidney say bia asem wo ho kidney no o say wo ye chi ha kakra wo fempade no last one no e chi ha kakra afei so no o say kidney no so produce hormone ye chemical bia wo moja body ni mu a ebo ama wutumi ye de say ye de bia sa hormone bi na e bi ye te say vitamin D na me dompe mu ye de ni nyuma bebree. No, ka say yare bi wo honom a etumi ma kidney no ho tochima yare ne bi no diabetes diabetes che yare it is che no do so moja ni musa na akoma kidney no ebre kidney ni breast na entumi nya adwuma na say ye entumi nya na adwuma na che say sa moja na ehuru mu ni nyoma na meka che beginning ni nyina no entumi nya ni yie na ade na fi ni nyina gusu tai nipadua ni mu ene be ma wa yare. Nti esa na eto aso cha etuma kidney se kra na obehia dem fa na bonyi fa na dialysis no dialysis ni ye machine bia huhuru moja ni ma ba ne bo den pa nti ka ono kwa de a me ma ye nyare ndu sa stage no diabetes wo so ana wo busua mu a no hu doctor no abo no etuma manage ne fine na wa wudi bi so no be hwe odidi emu yie sa na kan ye be hwe de mu ndidi pi because kase yo bebre no de yare no diabetes ni biba kase yo bebre so no anu akasa so ha nipadua no ma kidney ni function na say function no ade ba ko so kan no say mojabro so blood pressure hypertension ni nyina ho no nyina so ma kidney ni bre de o kan say pressure no sa na nya akoma ni nkwa na ebre akoma ni ntumi pompi moja no na ebran say pompi moja no na ma kidney ni so no moja na ekomu na du frusane wo ho so no enkoyie ba ne sana say wo mi obi kon no na kidney na ntumi mbo anya na adwuma yie ani nyina so betumi ma kidney no asɛe what is say nsuo so hu ya ma kidney power say no kre kube nsuo ye pa ana nsuo ankasa but no ka say nsuo ni soft drink no na busan say na drink na hard na e je say yensa na anu ye hikakra na yetumi no mu ana say o no de no ma nsuo free ni padua ni mu uta no mo nsa uta adwonso ma mo no mo te ase ojunso pii nti no ojunso pii nso na ma nsuo ni kidney ni ho nsuo anko kidney ai say waka ho fa nsuo ngumbo se ba engine be bo na kidney no so bo a na che say wa wonu nyankopon asemwa ana o ka say nti no ye na mo ne obo no tofa say ye hwe didie mu yie ye no mu nsuo yie ye didi so anya se dwene pii keke no ye mfa fruits ni vegetables nsa nyoma ne mfa fra na ne be ma ya hoodin ama kidney ye kidney atumi ni atena afebo ni hia hospital bia na se bibia cheso ba ma ya boka bebre ade ba ko kan so makai sisi a o se ye nkwala no nketenkete no omunya omumini mu ye kura sa infection na ye omo no Se ya nhwe ni yi a etimo mo kidney so sei ene de hu hia me pa nti ne nkwala no so no mo yare mayen fa ntan fie bebre se enfo mo call doctor for na doctor for nhwe because ebi wo no mo a when treat ni yi a etimi kwose akwala ne kidney wo panyimu kidney kra na hu so na akwala no be ne den e ka bebo no ayo a word to the wise yes it's in the north Minyanamu, Doc, thank you so much.
Wonderful, thank you very much. To find where we are, you can always go on our website on mobiledoctors.net.
.net, yes. Doc and Kasa mobile doctors. Into no share na hona behu local internet ni so easy kra. mobiledoctors.net. Behu no hono. Na no do sound. We'll be right back.
So that mom can be able to open the door.
This is it. Here's my little brother doing something special. He's setting the camera up with another bright idea.
Let's just open the door.
Yay!
Mom, I got it.
Now you can be part of the extraordinary world of endless possibilities on Vodafone. With the best value and amazing data offers and services available in Ghana, your dreams are achievable. Get more for less with Vodafone data. Vodafone, further together.
With the help of Vodafone Healthline, we have secured funds for Rebecca to undergo the surgery she so desired. Let's go have a look.
So we had this lady with a congenital anomaly of the hand. Generally around week day 42 in the mother's womb, the hand that looks like a spoon has what we call apoptosis. The cells in between here die and you have your 5 fingers. We had a situation where with her it was excessively done and so she had an extra thumb. Surgery had to involve reconstructing the hand and making sure that the thumb we're leaving behind is strong enough to do all the function that the thumb has to do. Surgery was done under some anesthesia, and the main thing was to make sure that the thumb we leave behind is strong enough. We expect that after the surgery is done, she should have good function of the thumb. She should be able to do all that the thumb does, and it should heal well. Normally we'd expect it to take about 6 weeks, maybe up to 3 months to have good healing. What we expected to do after surgery would be to do the physiotherapy, play with a ball in the hand, and that helps to give the thumb the strength and it's able to do what it has to do.
So that mom can be able to open the door.
This is it. Here's my little brother doing something special. He's setting the camera up with another bright idea.
Let's just open the door.
Yay!
Mom, I got it.
Afedie, usubetumi nya kwenya sronko aye nije ye power Vodafone so. Ye di data bundles a eni seso Ghana ha bro. Ye more da so, ye ni daso nyina bem. Enti beka ye ho, nya data mo ni je power bebre.
Vodafone, further together.
episode. And today's episode will be focusing on our stomach area. Now, sometimes you want to lose weight. You've done all kinds of things, taking all sort of precaution, is not working. The only thing that can guarantee results is when you work on your stomach exercises. Exercise way, obetimi atenase, and now so down paymo cra, obetimi aye. Let's start it with pillow. For pillow. Obe lean me back a little. Koweshi kakra say, be unaimu. Then no now you say. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are just calm down, lean back again, then more nicer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Me baby isuwe. So anyway, bia. Fast stones. And now baby I'll bet to be that too. Aye 10. Aye 10 because we are doing 10 on each side. Now exercise way it works on our obliques. Fasten our hand you say. So again, you lean back, no alpha back. Then you take it. You would have to take it back when you are done. Because of time, so I can't do it with you. So the next one, you better lean on your side. What do you back be queen? Now back what no one more so. Now on son, one more to say. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you switch to the other leg. Still maintain the posture. Take your hip up a little. And bounce us up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yaba. Mat naso. Ma wusu kaka. Now you're twisted. Still on our obliques. Now the next workout is a workout that we can all do. Sit-up exercises. Now on my count. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I also feel events now. See you next time.
Hello, once again. Today in This Week in Medicine, we talk about polymyalgia. Well, it just means a few more limbs. Congenital limb defects occur when an arm or the leg or part of it doesn't form normally as the baby grows inside the uterus. The exact cause why people may have variations in their limbs is unknown. However, things such as smoking, certain drugs, viruses may predispose a child to this. The treatment depends on the type of congenital limb defect. It may include an amputation and subsequent artificial limb, surgery to disarticulate or remove the limb, or just rehabilitation to manage it. Unfortunately, we usually shun such people and make their lives uncomfortable. People affected with polymelia have more than the usual number of limbs. We want to go straight to New Delhi and throw some light on Lakshmi Tatmia, an Indian girl in New Delhi. She was born with 4 legs and 4 arms. This was, however, not a true case of polymelia, but a case of ischiopagus Siamese twinning, where one's twin's head disappeared during development. This was described as a parasitic twinning in the hospital release in 2008 when she underwent a surgery to remove the extra limbs. It took a team of 30 surgeons working in shifts for a total of 27 hours to accomplish this. This is indeed a medical feat. Zanda me kanye de, eya bo hon na obo wafran, na afran nensa, ana nennan, ana baby wan form ye, ebia na usa, ebia na onsun, ebia na odosun. Na eyin se body afaban or form ye funuma, oyin mam na wudin or form ma. Enyama tum sisi a oma nensa ana nennan onye ye. Ade potia oma mfam baby wonya dama adin ye nyim. But isusu de umwawa either viruses ana indubi ana cigarettes botum wama afaba wenya dama adin. Na afaba nbana so wenya ye yenden. Ebo honoma ye be ese adwuna ye yi ebo bo nensa kakra bo ye be ye fi honom ana so yate ebotum ne ye yentumi yi a yetum ye man I am offended say one back cry yetum ye man prosthetic limb I there insufferable ye de hye ye de man motum ono so obonebra na ade wo mtitu nyi de say ye hyara mo fam bia na dama nyimpe ya mama ye mpete ye hungu hondo na mama ye nyon de wonya nyimpa wo nyimpa te de amenawo. This is all we have for this week in medicine.
Welcome to Jewels in the Kitchen with me, Firma. And net yeka a form wisa huasem. And you'll be out sure what a form wisa is. A Vodafone friendly grains of paradise. Because it's beautiful. It gives you a beautiful aroma. And yeah, dear, what pod in mono? Oka tono complete. I don't know what pod movie bit say brown be of grey kakra. And I said ni pod mo a color near red. If you mean one you know just friend red visa. Visa I anti-inflammatory this time, honestly. But antioxidant, just a maya who a boy who bind boost immune system in so many ways. But antimicrobial, that means a boy may fighting germs. It's actually known to help with wound treatment. Yes, it's being used to help with wound treatment and known also to help soothe some gastrointestinal issues. Some, okay, Another thing that we really do like about it is that it can be a good pain reliever, but definitely it doesn't beat the 10/10 score when it comes to the pain threshold. But it's just like mild aches and stuff like that. You want to brew some and sip, you'll be fine. But a regular use actually does help because regular usage has been linked to aphrodisiac properties. So you want to try that regular use, okay? Why cakey? Why must you look at my face as aphrodisiac?
Send when you are aphrodisiac.
My kai chocolate.
Send when you let me just hold it.
Okay.
When you are aphrodisiac, not too much.
Oh, see, Abba, when we talk about the chocolate, Abba, you mentioned that there are other natural things that it was nice to discover.
When you got aphrodisiac, it's like you're happy, you're doing science.
I'm whispering.
Why are you whispering it? Okay, why are you whispering aphrodisiac?
It's exciting. Anyway, what were your highlights?
For me, I just want to hammer. Let's be kind. If Uba na sebi or deformity and an honor be better chima. And Nasta lady you be neban. Damn ne pede what ye one. Oh sister, and Nasta lady you be neban. Damn ne pede what ye one. You can in our story and what we learned in this week in medicine, our story for the day. You realize that people who have any form of abnormalities are usually stigmatized, and it's not just for us. It's just you're just laughing and you're going, but it leaves a lasting memory. And even the comments, when sometimes I'm even working. One time I was working and my consultant just says, "Yali, you're gonna pot belly." He just said it and went past. He with no ill intention. I'm very certain about that. But I kept looking at my stomach in the mirror and seeing that is it true, and So this is even something as minute as that. Imagine if it's something you really can't do much about. Let's be considerate. Let's be compassionate. Let's be nice.
Okay, so I'll just reiterate the fact that kidney diseases are on the rise, and even though these days there's the option to dialyze and possible transplantation, it's not as easy as all that. Prevention is indeed better than cure. And the important risk factors for kidney disease we have to deal with. Hypertension is number 1, diabetes number 2, autoimmune diseases among others number 3. But hypertension is something we can all do something very easily about. Let's stop it.
Let's stop it. And if you're not sure how to stop it, you want to get in touch with a doctor. You don't have the kudi for it right now, just call 255. It's been a pleasure. You keep learning. Don't go anywhere. Stay healthy. All right. Join us next week for another educative episode of Vodafone Healthline. Just bye for now. Bye.
Vodafone, further together.